Good afternoon, everyone. We're here to discuss the usage of sampling to collect data. But first, let us know what sampling is. When you are conducting research that needs data from a group of people, it's rarely possible to collect data from every person in that group, especially if the number of your target respondents were very large. Instead, you select a sample. What is a sample? Sample is a group of individuals who will actually participate in the research. It is a small part or quantity intended to show what the whole is like, the representatives. For you to further understand what is a sample, let us differentiate population and sample. The population is the entire group that you want to draw conclusions about. The sample is the specific group of individuals that you will collect data from. To draw valid conclusions from your results, you have to carefully decide how you will select a sample that is representative of the group as a whole. There are two types of sampling methods. The first one is probability sampling, which involves random selection, allowing you to make strong statistical inferences about the whole group. The second one is the non-probability sampling, which involves non-random selection based on convenience or other criteria, allowing you to easily collect data. To further discuss these two methods, here is Erica Santiago.
One type of sampling method is the probability sampling. This involves random selection that allows strong statistical inferences about the whole group. It is also called unbiased sampling because it involves all members to participate. Therefore, everyone will have a chance of being selected. We will be able to also obtain a sample that is capable of representing the population under study or of strong similarities in characteristics with the members of the population. There are four types of probability sampling methods. These are simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, and cluster sampling. Simple random sampling assures that every member of the population will have the same opportunity to be part of the sample. The basis of inclusion nor exclusion is only by chance or opportunity. In this type of sampling, one may have a list of participants, assign a number for each, and then use a random number generator. Another method used is also draw lots, which is also based on chance. Systematic sampling is done just like simple random sampling, except for the use of random number generator. In this kind of sampling, members were assigned with number, arranged in alphabetical order, or in any order that no hidden pattern will be observed. For instance, we could choose everyone who will be part of the 15th name in the list until the last member in the population to be part of our sample. Stratified sampling involves dividing the population into subgroups called strata based on their similar characteristics such as age, gender, job role, income bracket, or other characteristics based on data analysis. After dividing the population into subgroups, a simple random or systematic sampling method is used to select a sample from each subgroups. Cluster sampling also involves dividing of population into subgroups. However, it is not based on specific characteristics but based on the characteristics of the whole population. This isolates a set of persons rather than individuals to serve as a sample members. This is used for larger and dispersed population. For example, looking for college students currently enrolled in a municipality. Instead of looking at all the list of these enrolled students, we may choose 1 to 3 barangays and look for college students there to be part of the sample.
Lastly, we're going to talk about non-probability sampling methods. So this is a method that is based on non-random criteria and not every sample has a chance of being included unlike probability sampling. This sample is easier and cheaper to access. It's usually used by the researcher to select sample based on subjective judgment rather than random selection. There are 4 types of non-probability sampling methods. First, convenience sampling, also sometimes called accidental sampling or haphazard sampling. As the name suggests, you select sample of what's convenient for you. This is easy and inexpensive to gather data, but we are not sure if the sample is representative of the population. For example, you are searching or researching opinions about student support services in La Consolacion University, Philippines. So after class, you ask your classmate to complete a survey on the topic. This is a convenient way to gather data, but as you only survey students taking the same classes as you at the same level, the sample is not representative of all students at La Consolacion University, Philippines. The second one is voluntary response sampling, in which people will volunteer to do the survey and become part of the sample. Voluntary response sampling can be biased and cannot be generalized. For example, a TV show host asks his viewers to visit his website and responds to an online poll. It can be biased because people who respond tend to have similarly strong opinion compared to the rest of the population. The next is purposive sampling, also called judgmental sampling, in which researchers use their expertise to select a sample or pick who is in the sample by use of their own judgment. An effective purposive sample must have a clear criteria and rationale for inclusion. For example, TV reporter stopping certain individuals on the street in order to ask their opinion about certain political changes. However, it is important to specify that a TV reporter has to apply certain judgment when deciding who to stop on the street to ask questions. Otherwise, it would be the case of random sampling technique. Lastly, the fourth type of non-probability sampling, snowball sampling. This sampling system works like a referral program. Once the researcher finds suitable subject, he asks them for assistance to seek similar subject to form a considerably good-sized sample. For instance, if you are studying the homeless, you are not likely to be able to find good list of homeless people within specific geographical area. However, if you go to that area and identify 1 or 2 participants, you may find that they know very well who the other homeless people in their vicinity are and how you can find them.
Importance of sampling in collection of data. It is important, or it is usually used because sampling makes collection of data easier, cost-effective, practical, convenient, and manageable. Because instead of the whole population, you will just get their representative for you to draw conclusions.